Hello, viewers, and you're watching Comic Book News. I'm your host, ComicClass, and yeah, today we have about four stories to talk about, and this is a new segment I'm bringing onto the channel. I'm hoping to do this every week and basically bring some comic news that I thought was interesting to you guys. And yeah, today we have four stories to talk about, so let's jump right into the first one, which is talking about Ben Reilly becoming Marvel's new Spider-Man, main Spider-Man, it seems. Now, it says right here that the Amazing Spider-Man interior art by Patrick Leeson, Sarah Piccielli, and Michael Dowling features Ben Reilly officially taking up the mantle of Spidey. So it seems like after Sinister War that they're gonna make Ben Reilly the new Spider-Man. It says right here that Ben Reilly becomes the new Spider-Man of the Marvel Universe in preview art for Amazing Spider-Man. Marvel announced Patrick Gleason, Miles Morales co-creator Sarah Piccielli, her first time working on the Amazing Spider-Man, and Michael Dowling, who does the Black Cat series, or the new rotating art team on Amazing Spider-Man. Arthur Adams will provide the cover art. And yeah, it says the uncolored preview pages highlight the artistic talents of Gleason, Piccielli, and Dowling, giving a glimpse of some of the moments that will take place during the Beyond era from writers Zeb Wells, Kelly Thompson, Saladin Ahmed, Cody Ziglar, and Patrick Gleason. For example, we do see Ben Reilly in his new Spider-Man costume, swinging over what is most likely the Beyond building in New York City. A conversation with Daughters of the Dragons, Colleen Wing and Misty Knight, and Ben Reilly undergoing some form of testing. So yeah, this seems pretty interesting. Ben Reilly, I've never really read anything of him. I know that he was introduced during the Clone Saga in the 90s, and it was speculated that Nick Spencer was going to undo One More Day with the new storyline that he's doing with Sinister War, and we had saw that comic cover for, I think it was, what was it, issue 70, showing Peter Parker and Mary Jane together. So we were assuming they were going to get married again. But we do get this cover art for one of the issues, and this shows Spider-Man in the hospital. We also get one with Mary Jane kissing him, supposedly with him dying or just badly hurt. So I'm wondering if Peter Parker is going to die, which a lot of people are predicting, or if it's going to be a case that he's going to be out of commission, kind of similar to the Nightfall story arc with Batman, where Batman kind of gave the mantle to John Paul Valley, I think is his name, and maybe that's what's going to be happening here. Is we're going to have Ben Reilly take up the story for at least a year or so, which should be interesting, and I will be reviewing it on the channel, when the volumes come out of that. And yes, that's it for that first story. Jumping to the second story, we have DC announcing a Green Arrow middle grade OGN, and this is basically going to be called Green Arrow Stranded, and it's a new middle grade graphic novel focusing on a younger Oliver Queen. So this is interesting, and it seems like this is going to be written by Brendan Deneen and artist Bill Hosella, and this is going to focus on a 13-year-old Oliver Queen who has always hated the idea of hunting, but is roped into a hunting trip by his father, who insists they go on this trip with his business partner Sebastian and his son Tyler. Ollie soon comes face to face with some teasing and doubts about whether his father will ever feel pride in him again after he fails to take a perfect shot. And yeah, there's more to this synopsis, but to make this quick, this is going to be debuting on March 1st, 2022. And there's also other stuff such as Green Lantern Alliance and Shazam Thundercat OGNs, which will respectively release on April 5th, 2022 and June 7th, 2022. So it seems like DC is doing a line of comics for more of a middle grade age demographic, which is amazing. And it's really cool to see certain demographics being focused on and hopefully get more kids into comics in the future. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll probably check it out when it drops. Now, the third story we need to talk about is comic sales for 2020. Comic or graphic novel sales spiked in 2020. Now, it says that new data compiled by ICV2's Milton Grip and Comicron's John Jackson Miller found that sales of comics and graphic novels hit a new high in 2020. Now, this was released 4 days ago, so these numbers are pretty new. And yeah, it says that the new data compiled found that sales of both comics and graphic novels hit a new high in 2020, likely due in part to the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. And according to Grip and Miller's findings, comics and graphic novel sales to consumers in the US and Canada were approximately 1.28 billion in 2020, marking a 6% increase over sales in the previous year. And yeah, it says the challenges of retailing in the pandemic had profound impacts on the market, including the acceleration of trends that have been in place for years. Grape said of the estimates, the book channel increases its share dramatically versus comic stores, and graphic novels increase their share versus periodical comics, while digital sales were turbocharged. Miller added that while the comic periodical market was ahead for the year before the pandemic struck, production cutbacks resulted in 30% fewer new comic books being released by major publishers in 2020 and 20% drop in new comic sales. However, the pair also found that the collectible side of the comics industry did well in 2020, with Miller noting the collector market flourished during the year, allowing comic shops to earn significant revenue from their back issue inventories. Many new releases also saw significant levels of markup that our charts would not be able to capture, he added, all of which helped stores offset the lack of new product. As shown in the provided infographics, the analysis by Comicron and ICV2 was divided up between periodical comics, floppies or pamphlets, graphic novels, and digital download to own sales. Additionally, all print figures were calculated based on the full retail price of the books sold into the market. As such, they do not reflect any discounts or markups or subscription-based all-you-can-read services. So yeah, this is looking really good. To end it off, guys, it says right here that meanwhile, sales categorized as other include periodic sales via specialty retail and mass merchant claim chains and crowdfunding channels. Specifically, Kickstarter played a big part in continued growth, with comic funding up 60% in 2020. In fact, one of the most recent Kickstarters to launch was Campaign for Help, a new graphic novel anthology benefiting the Hero Initiative, created by comic book writer Omar Spahi and editor Hannah Means Shannon. Help is comprised of several one-page stories from a lineup of creators including Kirion Gillian, Dennis Calero, Tim Seeley, Magdalene Vizziaggio, Sina Grace, and Tony Fleets. The campaign launched on June 15 and has raised nearly $1,300 to date. The latest reports marks the eighth joint market size analysis from ICV2 and Comicron, who first partnered to evaluate sales in 2013. And yeah, that is the news regarding the comic book sales of 2020. There is a chart that they released, and it does show that comic sales have gone up since the last few years. And it seems like every year that's passing, comic sales are going up a little bit and a little bit. And I kind of credit that to more people getting into the medium because of more TV shows being brought out. And we're just becoming more aware of comic book characters, and it's becoming more of part of the mainstream. But hopefully, Marvel, DC, and Image do some type of streaming service together and do something similar to the Shonen Jump app that Japan has for their comic books, their most popular comics, their manga, and hopefully we see more sales spike in 2022. And yeah, this is just looking really good. Hopefully, I'll make a video breaking it down more so I get more information about how much was, American comic book sales, how much was manga and stuff like that, regular books, regular graphic visual novels and stuff like that. Hopefully, there's a more breakdown version, but I just want to bring you guys this news. And yeah, the final story we need to talk about is showing some respect to Steve Sherman, who was a puppeteer and comic book writer and a Jack Kirby's assistant during his comic book days, way back then, I believe in the 60s or 70s. It says right here that Steve Sherman, a renowned puppeteer who was a longtime Jack Kirby assistant and collaborator in the 1970s, has passed away at age 72. So yeah, I just want to say, this guy had a really great career. It shows how much stuff they were in. These people, these original comic book creators, they did a lot of stuff, not just comic books. So it's really cool to see and show respect to these people now that they have passed. And yeah, I just want to say rest in peace to Steve Sherman. give your condolences to the family, and another legend from the past, the comic book history, has died. And yeah, let's just show our respects to him. Rest in peace, Steve Sherman. And that was all 4 stories I was going to talk about today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe. I'm going to be trying to do this every either Sunday or Monday, and basically talk about the comic news that interests me throughout the week, and just bring you guys some of this news that you might not know about, and just have a good time. Let's talk about the stuff that was here. What are your thoughts on Ben Reilly supposedly going to be taking the mantle of Spider-Man? What are your thoughts on DC doing a middle grade type age demographic group of books to get more kids into comics? What's your thoughts on the comic book sales are going up? Do you think that part of it is manga sales going up in America and we're counting that, or do you think that comic book sales in general are just doing better because of everyone being kind of like locked inside, not having that many things to do? What do you contribute the spike in 2020 of comic book sales and graphic novels go up to? And like I said, to Steve Sherman, rest in peace. You did some great work, and yeah, let's just respect him and his family and give our condolences. And yeah, that being said, rest in peace, Steve Sherman. And that's all, guys. Like I said, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and go check out my Twitter at ComicClass. And yeah, if you want to, you can also donate to my Cash App, which the link will be at the end of this video, on the in screen, in credit screen. So if you want to do that, that helps the channel continue going forward even faster, and helps me put out more content for you guys in the future. But until next time, guys, God bless you, and until the next video, keep on reading those comments.